Hello and welcome to another edition of AI in the Classroom Daily, a podcast devoted to helping teachers make sense of AI in the classroom without the hype. And I'm extremely pleased to welcome onto the program today Diana Betancourt, who is the first of what we expect will be many educators to join us on the show. She's going to talk a little bit about her experience using AI in the classroom, specifically in the context of writing. And I want to ask her to tell us a little bit about her classroom, a little bit about herself as an educator as a preface to this. And then we're going to dive into some of the specifics of her reactions to the product, her students' reactions to the product, and some reflections on AI as seen from the classroom. So Diana, you teach both in third and fourth grade in Prince William County, and we learned about your work through an article covering your classroom in the local paper. We were very excited to read about this. So maybe I'm going to ask you just to introduce yourself, tell us about yourself, how you came to be an educator, and what does your classroom look like today?
So hi, my name is Diana Betancourt. I teach at Neabsco Elementary School in Virginia. Right now, currently working in third grade and special education classrooms. And I became an educator because my son was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. And I saw the hardworking educators helping my son to blossom and grow. So I say, I want to do that. I want to do that with other kids and help parents too, like myself. And I started loving it. However, I was going for a special education, but I fell in love with ESOL department. Is when I am bilingual. I speak fluent Spanish. So there was a need of translations and translator. And I worked with the fifth graders, and I was amazed how smart they were in their own language. But the language barrier, they cannot participate or they cannot get into the content because they cannot speak it or they cannot say, hey, this is what I think. But if they speak in Spanish, they were amazing. The ideas were there, right? So I said, no, I want to do this. So I want to help these kids. And I've been doing that for the past 3 years now in Prince William County.
So a very compelling story as to a reason to enter the classroom as an educator. I think that gives you a deeper appreciation for the impact of teaching and learning, and you've seen it firsthand. You mentioned that you're also part of a select group of educators in the county who are helping the county understand the role of AI as
Yes.
nominated by the superintendent. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
So the superintendent, I love the superintendent vision that she has for 2030, and it's aligned with technology and the AI and how we need to get the students ready for when they finish high school, right? And this all goes for K to 12. So the county has something that they call it the AI cohort, distinguished cohort, and I'm part of that. This is my second year with them. And we're trying to see how AI affects or helps educators now before we go with the students. So how AI is helping educators in the lesson planning and anything related in the classroom. So right now we talk about it. It's around 30 plus people. I am one of them. And we talk about Copilot or ChatGPT, how the lesson plans, how it saves times, or actually it gets worse. What is the difference between both of them? So it's something that it gives me an idea. It's like AI is coming and I need to be prepared. And I want other educators like me to be prepared, but more especially be aware of the good and the bad. You know, oh, it's good stuff, it's bad things, but we need to learn from both sides and I just not say, hey, AI is bad or hey, AI is super good and that's it. We need to do research and that's what we're doing as educators. We're doing the research to see how we're going to implement eventually with the students using technology.
And so you're sort of on a journey here as one of the few teachers in the county who are nominated to sort of go first and experiment and learn and report back.
Pretty much.
And so
pretty much.
I wonder, so shifting to your classroom, because the story that we read about was in the context of writing. And so I wonder, can you explain a little bit about what writing looked like or looks like without the use of AI? What is classroom teaching and learning of writing look like back, if you go back to the beginning of this school year? What would a typical lesson entail?
Okay, so the biggest challenge before using this tool, one of my biggest challenge was helping my students bridge the gap between what they want to say and what they were able to put on the paper, right? Many of my students have strong ideas. They can talk about their ideas. They can tell me, hey, I think this because blah, 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 right? But they struggle with sentence structure, academic language, organization, or even getting started at all. Like, they can talk to me, but doesn't mean that they can put that on the paper. And that was the biggest struggle. For multilingual learners, in particular, writing often comes with fear. I want educators to understand, if you are like me working with English learners, is that they are afraid of writing. Not because they don't know how to get the pencil or anything like that. It's the fear of making mistakes. It's a new language. It's a second language, right? Or being judged, or you're doing it wrong, or you put in the grammar wrong, or you put in the sentence wrong, or not sounding smart enough. So including my students with disabilities, I work with students with disabilities too. So the cognitive load of planning, drafting, revising could become overwhelming for them. So making writing was feeling very inaccessible. Like, it was very hard. Had 7 different kids trying to help them at the same time, right? With the different questions. So that's how was my biggest challenge in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, that's a really good, I think, concrete example of what that can look and feel like, trying to meet those different needs. And also, I think one of the things that resonates for me as someone who has learned to speak Spanish over time is the feeling that it's a version of myself that I don't feel confident in, that I may not sound smart in Spanish, or I may lack the vocabulary searching for a word. And that gives me pause and I hesitate. And it would be even more significant if I were in the classroom and this was the expectation faced every day.
Yes.
So you mentioned something interesting when we were talking before we started recording about how you learned about the Newsela writing product. Could you share a little bit?
Yes. So, okay. Before I am an educator, I am a mother. My son, again, is diagnosed with autism. He's in 6th grade. Amazing boy, super smart, but he doesn't like to write. Not because he doesn't know it, it's just because he doesn't like it. It's for him, it's hard to put those thoughts in there, right? So he came home. I received a message from his teacher for all the parents, say, hey, just don't forget that your child has to finish the writing in Newsela. So I sat down with him and I say, okay, well, I'm gonna help you. He's like, no, Mom, I don't need help. AI is gonna help me. So I say, what do you mean AI? So he say, Luna is gonna help me. So I say, who's Luna? So he showed me his tablet. The Newsela has AI and in the writing part, and her name is Luna. And she would tell my son, depending on the organization and the main idea or what the teacher is looking for, the arrow is gonna go up or it's gonna go down. Look, then, when I saw my son writing not just 2 sentences, but 5 paragraphs, 5 paragraphs. I was like, no way. And he's like, yes, Mom, look, color coded. So I found the main idea. I found this. I found what a teacher is asking for the prompt. And then he has the other tool that he tells that green is when he's really has a solid full page, right? And if it's orange, he needs more organization, things like that. It's color coded. So one of my sons, I remember, that's how I find out, is because he was missing summary. And I say, okay, how you ask Luna? So he's like, no, you click here and she will tell you an example. Because I say, Mom, I don't know, like, how you mean I summary? So I say, Luke. My son's name is Luke. So I say, Luke, just use in conclusion or in summary, start with that. That's a sentence started, and then go for it. He's like, no, Mom, don't help me. Luna's going to help me. So you click on it, And the learner started getting, do you need an example? So he clicked on it, and that's how he says it. I was amazed. Then I am an educator, and I was amazed. It's happening with my son, like who I know for sure he struggles writing paragraphs and being confident in his writing. AI was not telling him, hey, capital letter, you're missing, or oh, this is not good enough, nothing like that. It was not judging him. He doesn't, nothing, it's just telling him, hey, you're missing this. This is how you do it. Or you're missing the other thing. This is how you do it. So I came to my workplace and I was thinking like, oh, I wish that I had elementary, like I wish they do have this for elementary. So that happens around November, December last year. And in January this year, the English specialist, the reading specialist, came to in a meeting for third grade team. She said, hey, the county wants us to start with New Zealand writing third, fourth, fifth. And they say, it's AI, and it's going to be awesome. And they explain it. And I raise my hand and I say, I want to try it. I want to do it. Next day, I create something super simple. It took me 5 minutes to do a lesson plan according to what is aligned for my curriculum. And the next day, that's how it started. And my kids absolutely loved it. Oh, what do you mean? It's main idea. Look, color-coded. Oh, I'm missing something. Look, example. So imagine I just started January. Can you imagine if I started this in August? How much growth I was seeing. It's incredible. The tool is incredible. The tool is not giving my students the answer. It's actually just helping them to complete the task. This is what the teacher is looking for. The 5 things I'm looking for. This is how it's color-coded for me. Or if you want to do the arrows, you can choose. And it just takes less than 5 minutes to create it. And it just ownership. My students doesn't need, imagine me in a table with 7 students. Hey, I need this, I need that. They are now like, oh, I don't need Miss B in this part because I'm going to ask Luna. But then now I can focus on the ones that are really struggling, even with examples, right? I'll say, okay, so, oh, you don't understand. Okay, let me give you a sentence started, or let me walk through you. But at least I'm working now one-on-one instead of 7 at the same time. So 6 of them are working by themselves because they are asking and they know and they start clicking and they start figuring it out by themselves. And it's awesome because they see it, what they're missing. But there are one that's not getting it. Now I can focus on just that one instead of just leaving that behind if I didn't have the AI tool, because I will not notice. He will continue like hiding in the shadows, like, oh yes, I'm not gonna tell the teacher that I'm missing out or I don't understand, right? So that's why it's been helping me since I started it.
That's incredibly helpful. And I can picture you there with 7 students working one-on-one while 6 are working more independently. It's very easy to imagine what that looks like. I wonder, one of the things that you said, that it doesn't give the answer to the student. I want to ask you a question about AI in your teaching, and you're part of this cohort. You're doing a lot of advanced work for the county. How do you think about, what is your guideline to yourself or to others about what AI should and should not do in your classroom when you're teaching? Like you said, it doesn't give I think you were positively praising that it doesn't give the answer. So I was inferring, if it gives the answer, that crosses a line that's doing too much work. I wonder, what are the other lines, or can you describe a little bit, what are the boundaries that you consider when you think about what AI should and should not do?
Okay, for example, AI, as of right now, I like it when it gives the feedback, right? Instant feedback. Something that I cannot do with 7 students at the same time, asking me. Something that I like about AI as of right now, the tools that are approved by the county, they are not biased. They don't know the student. They don't know the gender. They don't know any disabilities. They don't know names. They don't know anything. More like they're giving feedback according to what they're writing. I like that. We are not using personal information. We are not using anything that is related to the student. that can mark them or can put labels on it. So that's what I like about the AI that's been approved. Some teachers or educators might be afraid of that. It's not happening, okay? Now, they use other tools for lesson planning or curriculum. You can go deeper in the AI research, right? You can ask AI, hey, I need a lesson plan for this type of student because I need to get him somehow. And you can put ideas on it. But AI is not replacing the educator. At the end of the day, it's my idea, it's my work. I'm trying to help the student. AI is just giving an idea on how you can get it, but eventually I am the one who is executing the lesson plan. I am the one. I am the person that I am being in a relation with the student. I am the one who's going to talk to the student. AI is just amplifying my ideas and my creativity of how to get the student get to the grade level that he needs to go or she needs to go. That's it. People are afraid that AI will replace education or the teacher. It will not ever happen because when I put feedback or I put AI, do this for me. This is my idea, how I can make it happen. It's me. I'm asking AI how I amplify it. AI is telling me, do this, do this, do this. I am the one at the end of the day that I would choose what is correct because obviously AI will not give you everything perfect, right? You have to do your own research. But I am at the end of the day, I am the one who's choosing how I'm going to implement this to help certain students that need major or more engagement than other students. That is how it's helping me. Educators should understand that we need to be mindful in how we're using it and why we're using it and how to using it. And this is something that actually you said it when you podcast. Be mindful in what we are using and how we are using it. Educators should be doing the same with AI. AI is not the tool that is going to do it for you. It's just simply simplifying and actually amplifying what you want to do in your classroom. That's it. It's just a tool. It's not a replacement of me or any educators.
Do you see ways in which AI gets that right for students and sometimes gets it wrong? Like, do you see students, you've described some very positive reactions where the students are motivated, they're working to improve these checklist or move these meters into the green. Have there been any moves, either New Zealand Writing has made this move or another tool, places where it doesn't fit, places where it says something and the student says, they don't maybe understand at a third grade level why they disagree or why it doesn't work? Are you starting to see like boundaries, places where it's behaving in ways that are not productive?
No, actually not. Actually, something that I actually more impressed by, and that's why I'm excited about it, is because actually it's helping my students with the metacognition. People want to think like, there is no way AI is going to help with metacognition. Well, yes, it is, because I saw it with my own eyes. How this kid, and actually is a real experience. That was the second day I was using New Zealand Writing. We are so excited. And we use I put a prompt. And so I put, one of the things that I was looking for my students to do was reasoning, metacognition, right? You had to think over the thinking and give me your opinion. Give me what you think, right? Metacognition. I was trying to put an example on my paper so they can see if they got color coded, right? I am putting it. I am typing it. So I'm giving the example or I'm modeling for them how to do it. One of my students, that he's 8 years old, he did it faster than me. And he got reasoning before even I model it. I was in shock. And then the kids, instead of paying attention to me, they got more excited because he got it first. So all of them, they were like, oh, show me how you did it. What do you wrote? So they're all reading between then. I was like, oh, that's so now he's like, yeah, I did it. I did my own reasoning and I got the color coded. I started laughing because I was like, how you did it? I mean,
could he explain?
Candidate.
Well, I think this is such an interesting question in this moment when he gives an example and his peers look to him. What did he say when they asked him? He could say, here, I did it. And to the metacognition, what did he say about how he did it? What could he reflect on there?
Okay, before I was typing it, he went for the example. Like he's doing by himself. He went to the example. I guess he read it. The example, by the way, is nothing related with what I'm writing. It's just giving a rendering sample how to do reasoning. He took that. He got his own idea of what we were reading, and he just typed his own. And he got the color coded before even I can reasoning. I was typing, my reason is, and I was trying to modeling them, like this is, you go back to the paragraph, you got blah, blah, blah. He did it before me. And when the kids saw, oh, he can do it, I can do it too. And he was so proud of himself. So proud of himself. Okay, by the way, Dad, in my class or in my groups, we divide the groups by levels. And this is not me. This is part of as a teacher and WIDA, we call it WIDA, yep. The WIDA standards. There's 6 levels, but by 4 and a 4.4, you get out of my program, then you just consider the same as the peers. But this boy is level 3, right? He's close to we working on getting out of the WIDA on my group, but he is level 3. He got it. And when I talked to him after it, because he was excited, I said, how do you feel about it? Do you like it? He said, Miss B, I am more confident. I had no idea then how smart he is. And I keep telling these people, you have no idea how the kids can be in their own language, in their own culture, in their own background. But as soon as you put in English, they just somehow they get blocked, because, I don't want to sound weird. I don't want to sound bad. I don't want to mispronounce. I don't want to show my accent. Maybe they want to laugh at me, or maybe I just want to write in Spanish, or I don't know how to do it. But he did it. And he was so proud and building confidence. And this kid, this is maybe out of related to what's going on, but there is a test that Virginia does 3 times a year. We just did it a week ago. And to see the proficiency in reading and in grammar. My kid, the same boy that got reasoning before me, got perfect score. There is no more higher than that. 399. There is nothing higher than that. I was like, wow, you showing confidence now, and look all the areas that now you're growing. So that's why I love these tools, because it's writing. Part of my standards is listening, speaking, reading, and writing. But writing is a part of fundamental of the reading and in the grammar. So look at him. He's doing better in other areas. That writing is actually amplifying his skills. Yeah. And I love that.
This is such a great example. And one of the things that I was listening for and was going to ask you, and I think you've already started to answer, is the concept of transfer. And when we see a skill developing in Newsela writing, this makes us happy, but we want to see that skill is not specific to the context of Newsela writing, that ability that's being developed is transferring to other contexts. You mentioned WIDA and another assessment where it's that same, the development of the ability is being reflected on another assessment. And I'm curious I don't know if you've had a chance to do this, or maybe it's something you could do in the future, if you gave that student a blank document, let's say not Newsela writing, Google Doc, and you gave them a writing assignment, have you seen, do the skills from Newsela writing transfer outside of Newsela writing to writing? I think you were describing that, and that's what the WIDA test was showing. Have you seen any other transfer? It sounds like his confidence is transferring.
Yes. So my biggest notice is in the transfer of other areas. There, in other subjects, you had to write like what you learn, or your opinion, or what we call it exit tickets. Like, what do you learn, or how do you learn it, or what it got stuck on you, things like that, right? And other content areas. So I judge their success through multiple lenses, students writing samples over time, increased participation. Now my students were not good in participating. I actually had to call their names. Now the confidence is building up, and that's how it cross areas or content areas. Like, okay, I want to participate now. Not just only in reading, writing, but now let's do math, the increasing of the grades in social studies, science, and the voice, my students' voice. Okay, I told them the same way that you speak, you can put it in writing. Let's put it on that. They can speak it. They're just afraid of writing. So it's more confidence now in both. So now the speaking now is increasing even higher using academic vocabulary with a grade level. However, this is my biggest thing, and I can't wait to see it. I start using UCLA AI January. In February, we had to do an annual test that they call it with Access. It's an annual English language proficient test for kindergarten to 12th grade for all the students in the United States. So my students had to take that, and they divided by the 4 domains: listening, speaking, writing, and reading. I can't wait to see the writing part, how much they increase. But I will not know until May 13th.
Okay. All right.
I can't wait.
Well, we need to. I would love to know what you learned. I'd love to reconnect on May 13th.
And I want to see 1 month of doing this has done comparing to what I'm going to do in the beginning of the year. So I'm going to compare only 1 month and a half, 1 month. And now I'm going to start using it now for August to February to increase that. I want to see the difference.
So one of the things, and I want to try to, I think we should start to wrap up here, but one of the things that I want to call out here that for our audience that is noticeable to me, and I think discerning audience will also pick this up, is that there is the AI, but there is also, and you said this, there's you, and you're exuding in this conversation a very strong belief in your students. Like that is, I hear you saying that you know that your students are highly capable and that there is capability that is unrealized or that is unexpressed in certain contexts like writing. And you're looking for this from them. You're looking to see them express this. And I'm sure that you are signaling this to them. I'm sure that they see you believing in them. And so there are conditions that are not specific to the product, to the AI, to the technology, but you are making an environment in which they hear your encouragement and your expectation that they can do what you are asking of them. That's a very different expectation if you imagine an opposite teacher who is very skeptical, very pessimistic, questioning and undermining in language and sending negative signals. The AI is not going to overcome the human expectations, but it may be, I think, as you're saying, an augmentation or a reinforcement or an extension of your beliefs, your pedagogy, and the way that you are surrounding your students with this in the learning environment. So I want to call that out because we're talking about AI, but we also are talking about the context. And your classroom is a very important context for us to consider there. I wonder, you're part of this leadership group, and maybe you could just leave us in this conversation with what are you saying to peers now who are not part of your leadership group, or what are you preparing to say to them? What are some pieces of advice that you are formulating or you're already sharing with others about AI, what it is, what it isn't, when it should or shouldn't be used?
So the best advice that I can give an educator or the person who's listening is if you want to consider AI, right? It's like, oh, this is my first time. Maybe I'm going to try it. Just try it. So I want you to start with the needs of your students. What is their needs? do not think that this tool is going to do your job now. Just think about what they need, how to engage with them, how to go deeper, but don't ever think that AI is going to do your job now. That's the wrong approach, right? I also will start, if you're brand new, wants to try to use AI, I want you to use AI to support your ideas in the way that you want to impact your students. Just try that. Say, hey, AI, I had this idea. This is my creativity. This is what I wanted to do, but I don't know how. This is the level that they are. This is what I want them to focus on. I want to go in analysis. I want to go in recall. I want to go in creative, all the Bloom taxonomy that they want to. I want you to use AI to provide faster feedback. I want you to use AI not only to reduce your anxiety as an educator, because we have a lot in our plate, but think about how it's reducing the anxiety of our students, especially those with a disability or they're learning a new language, like my students. Think about like how AI could help them not feel more embarrassed or reduce the barriers like cultural, linguistic abilities. I want you to start using AI and think of keeping learning realistic and engaging, focus on the academic learning, and AI will not do that for you. You are the one who is executed. You are the one who's going to be sit down in front of them and do it. But with your ideas, AI can embrace and amplify those, how to get them. And this is something that I saw in one of my technology classes. Somebody say, I do not know who say it, so I just gonna quote it. So the biggest influence on learning has never been the tool, or our tool is the educator. Students learn because of the relationship, trust, and connection with the teacher. AI can support that work, but it never can replace it. When AI is used accurately, it does not take away from teaching. It gives teachers more space to be human and focus on the areas that the learners need to grow. Technology can support great teaching, but it will never replace it. Think of that. It will never replace it. What actually drives learning, the educator, you, the relationship, the connection we'll build with all learners. I want you to focus on that.
That's very powerful. I think that this is a reflection of the humanity that supersedes the technology, and we should keep this in mind, especially with AI, because it can impersonate humans, and we can begin to think that it is human, begin to think that it can replace humans. But I think we're clearly hearing in this conversation that that's not possible. So I want to thank you so much, Diana, for coming on the podcast, and thank all of our audience. And I want to do something which is a little strange and a little uncomfortable for me. Quiero empezar a hablar en español un poquito para compartir con usted un momento de gracias para compartir sus ideas con nuestra audiencia y todos nosotros. Y también para como darle un ejemplo de cómo es bastante difícil para mí expresarme en español, porque no tengo como acceso a todo el vocabulario en español que tengo en inglés, pero es un momento en que debo tratar de darle un poco de respeto y como una experiencia, como, digamos, compartida, como tengo una experiencia en expresando mi identidad en español. Es un poco distinto a como ser humano en inglés. Sí. Es un poco distinto a un ser humano expresándome en español. Y para mí es un momento de como reflexión a lo que estaba describiendo con sus alumnos, con sus estudiantes y su experiencia. Puedo compartir un poco de eso.
hablas muy bien en español.
Bueno, tengo bastante años, hace muchos años
¿Verdad?
que sí, pero la realidad es que no hablo español todos los días y a
Okay.
veces es,
No hablas muy bien.
pero a veces es porque tengo una, digamos, hesitancy, no sé cómo se dice, pero
Sí, 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 lo dijiste bien.
ok, porque no soy lo mismo en español que soy
Que en
en
inglés.
inglés y es lo mismo que está
Mis
describiendo él con
estudiantes.
sus estudiantes. Y
Sí,
es muy real, es muy real.
sí,
Real,
exactamente le pasa
actual.
lo
Eso
mismo.
sí, exacto.
No hablas muy bien, pero gracias por compartir. You want me to speak in English or in Spanish?
Lo que quiera.
No, thank you for sharing that because it's really hard sometimes for educators and to understand a little bit the ones that are learning the language, how hard it is to think in your brain what you're gonna say and trying to translate it, right? And I told my students, you have no idea how smart I am when I speak Spanish. Like my vocabulary, everything is actually higher. But when I try to do that in Spanish, my English and Spanish kind of like, and then I cannot say anything.
Yes. And there's this judgment layer too, which I wonder about with the AI, because like I remember my first year of learning Spanish, I had a teacher who was very strict. And if we sounded all like a gringo, she would just crucify us. And I was fearful. I wanted to get it right and not sound like a gringo, but I knew that there were times that I did. And I also knew times when I would get the vocabulary wrong, I'd get the grammar wrong, I get the tense and the verb tense. And all of these were lessons that I was learning in my Spanish class, but then I would try to use it in the conversation and, in the street. And I couldn't stop censoring myself and giving myself a grade. And it became very hard. It was an impediment between classroom Spanish and outside of classroom Spanish. And it became, in part, I wonder if the students on some level may understand that the AI isn't human. It may sound human, but it doesn't have opinions. It doesn't pass judgment. They know you, and I'm sure they love you, but you also have opinions and you're human. And there's a relational aspect to learning that sometimes isn't helpful. It can be intimidating.
So, because I am part of this group and I work with the technology, and even doing my master's degree, I had to take technology classes when they teach you like how to teach students about digital citizen and all the rules about like technology. I told my students AI is not real. AI is just a robot that will tell you something. It can be right, it can be wrong, but it's depending on you, I'm teaching them since now third grade, like how to use it in a good way and how people might use it in a bad way. It's just awareness of like, hey, it's just not everything is flowers and colors and awesomeness. It's danger to it. And I think that when you teach both sides, in a way that for their understanding, actually we are increasing the understanding of like, okay, this is a tool. I'm not gonna use it in the bad way. I'm gonna use it for me for actually getting better and better and better. And to the point that when they go to high school, they're actually preparing students for actually what's gonna be the real world. The real world, all of us use AI. I have my own personal AI. I can't even send an email without checking the grammar, because actually for me, it sounds good. But in my brain, I remember I had two languages. For me, when I read it, it's good. But when AI say, no, you're missing this, you're missing that, it was backwards, or things like that.
I do the same in Spanish. Yeah, of course. It feels foolish not to, because I know that there's grammar that I will get wrong, right? And so I want to sound good, but I want to represent myself well. I use the AI to correct, and in English.
Yeah, but to be honest, then, like, when I saw your new Sela AI, when I saw the product, when I saw what you guys do it, I was sold out. I was like, wow, what a great tool, not just to everybody, but now I'm using with English learners. AI is not making fun of that. You had to hear my students. It's like, I think you heard it in the article. I think they say it. He's not making fun of me. he's not. He's not making me think like I'm not good enough. Like I am good at it. Just telling me what I did wrong. That's it. And you know how hard it is to revise? Because I can tell a student revise, and then you look at the paper like, okay, what is for me is correct. For me it's good. I mean, for you might not, but tell me then what it is wrong. And they're doing it, and they're just third graders. My expectation is like when they go to fifth grade, when they go to middle school, they can even write even more. So I just want to say thank you for the great product, though. It's amazing.
Well, thank you for putting it to such good use. This is exactly why we want to make this product, so that you can use it. So we're very
I will
appreciative.
send you and Luis my data May 13th.
Okay.
Just in the writing part, how much they grow from 1 year to the other one. I want to show you
We'd
that.
love to know.
That's my biggest. I am about data, like how you grow. I want to show you that.
Excellent. Thank you. And then let's talk again. Let's have another conversation.
Of course.
To talk more about this, because I think there are many classrooms like yours, and we want to understand them better.
Yes, and give them a tool for the kids actually to show their knowledge.
Yeah.
Let's meet them where they are. Let's not ask them to meet us. Let's meet them where they are. They are right there. Let's get them up. That's our job.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you again. We'll talk again soon.
Bye-bye.
Be well.
Adiós.
Adiós. Que te vaya bien. Bye.
Lo mismo.